Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Please let me know in the chat. Just trying to make sure everything's cool. Anything? Yo? Can anybody hear me? Nice. Okay, so does the voice sound all right from here? Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, everybody, for joining me today. I'm actually a bit nervous. I haven't done this in a while. So thank you very much for showing up to the stream. We're going to be starting a brand new character today on a different account altogether. Because, you know, I'm just... After having to go through the quests again for another piece of dialogue that I needed, I had a lot of fun. So I wanted to... There's popping? Okay, cool. Hello, everybody. Okay, how did that change anything? Anything better? Anything better? You hear some static? Oh, I bet you I know what it is. So, guys, it might be the extremely loud Xbox that I have in the back. How about now? Anything changed there? Hello? Check. Tiny bit still. You can address. Good. Okay, that's actually decent. Oh, okay. Again, thank you everybody for coming. I appreciate you kind of working with me here in this first stream, getting everything back up and running again to where it's actually enjoyable, if you will, to hear. I am going to start completely. Yeah, I have a PlayStation. Actually, you know, that's probably something I should have considered, but at the same time, in the little time that I had to kind of get everything running together and whatnot, it was a little bit easier to just create another Warframe character. Maybe in the future here, we'll actually go and do a PlayStation 1, or at least take this character and shift it over periodically, now that cross-save's coming. We'll see. Game is too loud versus voice. How about now? Anything better? Still small amount of popping in the audio. Boo. Oh. Okay, we're getting there. Just a little bit better, I'm hearing, or I'm seeing at least. Appreciate that. Damn. How about now? Static still there, huh? Now this is kind of what I was hoping to. You guys want me to start with Mag? Yeah, I can do that. So it's only crackling like every half second. That could be. Let's just see. Crackling is. I wonder if I can't seem to get it out, unfortunately. I'm trying a couple different things. Now I'm too quiet. Let's try this. Lot of static. Oh, I'm having a great day as long as we can get this thing going. What I'm looking to do is get just a little bit of together here. We can actually start it up here. Just to see, just to get, maybe it could be something to do with that that song that started. You know, I think you even get pause for a split second. So you think it's actually something to do with the encoding? That could be it. All right, let me just try one quick thing, and then we might have to muscle through it here and go along on the way. But let's just see. Well, it could be gone just because I didn't speak for a second there, but let me know. I'm going to just speak for a little bit. Blah, blah, blah. Is there anything happening? Anything much more betterer or worser? Oh, yeah, you can actually switch profiles. It's nice. You can actually create multiple ones. So I figured, why not, right? Start something completely fresh. Okay, all right. Let's get into it and let's just see how it goes. You guys can that could have been it. What I might do is turn down the in-game music when we start. Okay, I love it. Thank you all, and again, thank you all for coming here today. I very much appreciate you being here on the journey. I figured this type of Warframe stream would do a couple things. Okay, so we're going to turn down the game music just a little bit. Okay, that seems to be cool. You know, we can kind of go from the very beginning, talk a little lore along the way and whatnot, you know, as things are occurring. But also for people that, like, don't really play a lot of Warframe, I feel like I've come up with a foolproof method of starting a new character and making it enjoyable throughout. And it only requires a few things that usually you get to deal with in the beginning anyhow. One of those things is you need the dread. Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming. You need Rhino.
For generations you've slept.
And you need to do Duviri first so you can get the sun and moon. If you get these three things,
to wake you.
I went through the whole star chart. We can. I can definitely. If anybody wants to join up, we can definitely get you in. Anybody that's playing right now, get involved in the quests as I go through, because I'm going to be running them. Yep. My voice is cracking again. Boo. Wonder if it. Once we get done with
seeds from the ruins of the old world,
cinematic here,
swallowing colonies whole.
what I'm going to do is turn the music, I think, either down or off. I'm going to see if that actually does something.
But there's still hope.
So, the reason why...
The Tenno.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I'm
Monuments
thinking
of
during
an
the
ancient warrior
cinematics
caste.
there might be a problem. But I'm going to have to look into that after the stream, because that's not going to be something I'm going to be able to fix.
Scattered
This is good.
across frail worlds.
The Tenno that we see here, I'm not sure if she has any significance or not, to be quite honest. That being said, one of the things that I noticed with new Warframe, thank you very much, I appreciate that skinny. I think they make a lot of the stuff that they create quite well, so that they keep the story open for potential changes they might make. I believe she is a Tenno because it looks at the end like she wasn't for a second, but it does look like she actually does a form of transfer. That could be because of my stupid hands up in front here. But that's one of the things I've kind of noticed is that I think, yeah, that's what I was assuming too. That's I'm gonna turn that back. Is that a little bit better? I don't think we need to have the game audio to the point where it's overwhelming. Okay, good. And I have to do it. I just want to say to you all that I want to thank the group that's helping out with the video today, G Fuel. I'm drinking the PewDiePie flavor at the moment, and I have to admit it's damn tasty. If you think that's a shameless plug, it is, just so you know. But if you guys already drink it, or ladies already drink it, and you're looking for a little bit of a discount, you can use my code TheDsIEGE. Get 20% off if you want. It's up to you. Not pushing anything, but it definitely helps the channel. So if that's something you're already into or you're looking to try, I definitely would appreciate the help there. So thank you very much. I appreciate everything. Now, I do have to admit, this flavor is pretty damn tasty. It's like a cherry.
Together, they fought back. Bringing an end to an empire.
That's right, buddy. It's what I do.
Then they left.
Only because I know how this ends.
Forgotten.
Let's just take a second, too, to appreciate how far the cinematics have come in this game. I still remember when I first started it. Like, I'm not saying that the graphics were bad, because they weren't, especially for the time. But looking at the cinematics, and especially just the game itself, the lighting in Warframe is just A+.
Wake up, Tenno.
I just think it looks really, really good. I don't know how my Pepsi has so many flavors. Okay, so now I've heard a mag and a volt. So let's just do a quick one in the chat here. Who do you all want me to play as? Do you want me to play as mag or volt? Let's not do Excalibur, because I think everybody does Excalibur. Uh-oh. It's looking like it's gonna be a volt type of day. Unless the mags start really coming out right now. If they had Pikachu, I'd do it. All right. Well, it's looking like we're gonna have to go with Volt today, all. I appreciate, I apologize to all the mag lovers. Today was not your day. I love Mag. I think Mag's one of the better frames in the game. If you know how to use her, she's fantastic. Now, if you're a brand new player, I actually think she's probably the hardest to play with. Excalibur's first ability, kind of, I don't know, it's a little OP. Oh, there he is. Four.
Pity she's too late.
Titania is amazing, especially now.
My prize now, Tenno.
Oh, that's right. I remember when Loki was a starter frame.
We are taking this one with us.
What has he done to you? I can't lose another Tenno. I'm surging your Warframe's power systems. Quick, use your power. Defend yourself.
Oh, yeah. I will tell you, the biggest change for people that, like, are starting over, at least for me it was not having the ability to Tenno out. Like, it was real rough, in fact, because I'm so used to flipping out of my Warframe over and over again. And then, like, the lack of energy that I have now, it's like, these are, like, some serious problems I was having. This gun's pretty butts. I got a couple things in the oven at the moment as far as videos. One of them that's coming along the way very shortly is kind of a recap of everything, especially before. I should have killed him that way. Whispers in the Walls comes out. I feel like it'd be. Oh, that looks really pretty. Oh yeah, how can you not use this? Got the range, everything you could possibly want in a melee weapon. Oh, and for anybody else that has issues with their hands, such as myself, auto melee can't come soon enough. I really wish they would do kind of a similar thing with. Let's take the Q9. It really depends because on the grinding question there. The reason why I feel like it's kind of to each their own is because I've found that this, like the second time around playing, like kind of inspired me to want to do a brand new character again. Had a lot to do with the fact that this time grinding, I knew what I needed and what I didn't. So, like, what it really did was it limited it made it so I didn't have to spend literally a dime, because as long as I got a couple things that I wanted, I knew I could take on pretty much every aspect of the star chart. So
Tenno flows like fire over the battle terrain.
I don't know, it was just, the grind to me was like much more enjoyable. Oh, I'm supposed to bullet jump height. I'm super excited. I have carpal tunnel in both of my hands.
Salvage team,
Pretty significantly too. But I have kind of rigged up a little system with the Xbox Elite controller that allows me to shoot and aim, which are like the major, aspects of any of these games, with my pinkies. It's like the one finger that really isn't affected by your carpal tunnel very much. So yeah, it might sound weird, but I literally shoot and aim with my pinky fingers, and it allows, because those particular actions are so repetitive in these games, it actually allows me to play. And if it weren't for this little situation that I have, I'd be done playing video games altogether.
This one is stronger than the rest. Not fury down.
Believe it,
This
brother.
Tenno is
Because eternalism. I've been here before.
Quick, get to the console and release the lockdown. Do that, and I will guide you to your old ship. It's
okay.
your only chance.
I'm such a shooter too. Like I totally like neglect my abilities. Oh, I know. Well, I mean, I was just watching somebody beat a Destiny 1 raid with the drum kit from Rock Band. So, you know, that just shows me how, like, bad I am. Big games, I guess? That dude couldn't have seen me through that leaf. Oh, you son of a bee. Have that. Oh, yeah, this was another thing. Like, now, when you start a character fresh, and I apologize, I haven't been, when you start a character fresh the second time, too, like, one of the other things I remembered right away is go get yourself a codex scanner and then scan literally everything, because you're already in the middle of these quests anyhow, or you know, the tile sets that have them. So just scan everything along the way. Then, like when you hit quests like the Titania quest and stuff like that, you basically already have everything ready to go.
Stop touching me, you... What? Are my senses deceiving me? Operator, is that you?
I don't speak much to my fault. Well, I actually don't speak at all to my original father anymore. It's a shame, but had to happen, so I kind of understand.
I will need a few moments to cycle the engines.
He wasn't like that. He was just
Tenno,
there.
are you afraid? You cannot hide.
But that is a discussion for another time.
Marked you. You will return to me.
Oh wow! Come on, man, just aim, buddy. Just aim your bow. Oh, you know what else I've noticed too? The other thing that really helps out is getting the shade companion right off the bat. So you just, you know, and that's another thing too, that like when you start Warframe for the first time, you don't realize that you can go and buy certain blueprints like right away to use them, and it's just, there's a lot of extra stuff that goes on that the second time around you kind of understand. Yes, that's another one, Helios. The only problem with Helios is that you actually have to join a clan. So I have not, like with that other character, I didn't even get it really around to join a clan because I knew I wasn't going to be using it, you know, that much. It was actually on a friend's account. So yeah, I believe I have it on for the video on demand. So this should be something, if you can't watch right now, you should be able to watch later.
I cannot serve the operator.
Oh, nice. Look at that. I got it in time. Yes. Oh, I don't know. I love that.
are ravenous for this old technology. It is superior to theirs. Perhaps there are systems left in the orbiter compartment?
Let's look what we got.
Look at this madness. Those savages. Components have been removed. The lower orbiter compartments have no
It just
life
looks
support.
so
Why did the operator abandon
crap. Compared to my nice pristine orbiter
Arsenal
with
management could be
all my
restored if the
decorations
operator wishes
and
it.
everything else. Ah, yeah, put that right there. Well, I do apologize for the ads, but
You
at this
are
point,
an
I
artist.
am trying to
Now I can
again
supply the operator with better marketed
make this
firepower.
into a real deal, like a real
Violation.
channel, not just
Those
a
have been
side
needed as
project.
well.
So yeah,
Need to
I'm gonna
figure out
be
what Captain Vor has done to you
in the
and
next
stop
year.
him.
You all
But
are
we'll
going
need
to see
help.
quite a lot of
I
changes
found
with the
a
channel.
communication
I
segment
have a
we
lot
might
of
salvage
plans
for your
moving
ship.
forward.
When you are ready,
So if
activate
you
your
enjoy what
navigation
you're seeing
system.
already, you're gonna see a lot more.
Ordis hopes the operator will punish the video for dismantling it.
Why am I start over? starting over for a couple reasons. One, like I said, I want to do it, and it makes it a great thing for each week that we can kind of go through, or each, you know, if I stream a couple days a week doing Warframe, that gives content for every single stream. If there are things that I want to specifically stream, like if a new event comes up or something like that, I always have my main account. And also for people that are watching it that maybe hit a roadblock along the way when they were, you know, kind of in the earlier stages of the game, because some of it can be confusing to an extent. Watching some of the things that I do here could make it a lot easier. No, we're going to be doing... No, we're going to be doing other things too. We're going to be streaming, in the beginning, we're going to be doing Elden Ring, Cyberpunk, and then once we are complete with Elden Ring, we're going to go to Armored Core, because that's what was voted on, and we're going to do through the whole Cyberpunk thing, probably, I don't know, one or two of the different endings at least, so that we can actually see what's going on with that. And then once we are completed, or once we're finished with the games there, we'll pick something else. So if the one game didn't, that you're looking for didn't come up right now, it doesn't mean it won't come up in the future. So just look out for the community posts that I make, because periodically I'll be just doing like a vote.
How you defeat those measures is up to you.
And then we still got to have, you know, I like streaming, but my love is the videos. So that will be something that we essentially always do, is the videos. They're going to be the most important. Oh man. It's funny because you don't like remember any of this stuff. Or that. Oh yeah, that felt good. I know, it's crazy. But I do dabble in other games from time to time.
Excellent work. A clean extraction with no alarms. This segment is yours. Head to extraction.
Oh, so excited.
As every moment passes, the Ascaris burrows deeper, revealing you.
I was so completely stoked when I got that other character finally to Hydron. Because, like, if you're not going to spend any money, and, I wonder, can you buy it right away there like that? I don't know if you can. I lost my train of thought. If you're not going to spend any money, the hardest thing is leveling stuff in this game. Oh, I would do a God of War Ragnarok, absolutely. In fact, if I do a God of War Ragnarok, it'll probably be more so God of War 2018 and then Ragnarok afterwards. Oh, I'm about to see Thor's Janus Key.
Welcome back, operator.
Alright, hold on.
The operator has recovered a segment.
Install it now.
Orders patiently awaits its installation.
Oh, I can't do that.
Get communications online. I must analyze what voice
You got it,
assistance is doing
Lotus.
to your warframe.
Okay.
This technology is beyond the Grenier. It must be Corpus in origin.
Systems engaging.
Wayfinder?
I suppose this will do. Ordis is grateful.
Oh, Baldur's Gate 3 would be cool too.
The operator
Warframe
is now
1999, not
connected to
set in
Tenno
1999.
The operator may now
Definitely
contact
possible it's
all
not
black
our
market
1999 for
scumbags.
certain.
Contact arms dealers.
Alright, I think you're all gonna hate
Excellent
this.
idea, Ordis. Tenno, we need to make contact with a Corpus defector
There's
sympathetic
just too many
to the
weird
Tenno
colors
cause.
going on, and I'm
They
a
will,
very
of
plain
course, require
type of dude.
compensation.
You see what Ordis is referring to, operator?
In this case, compensation will not be credits.
Green energy.
It will be freedom.
Shall we?
I've updated navigation. You will need to break him out of a Grenier gulag.
I don't know what happened there. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Okay. It's on the way. The new war explanation video is on the way as well. Again, that's going to have to be a 3-parter because there are multiple aspects to it now. Like, whereas the new war used to be just the new war, I feel like with everything that has occurred after the fact, Duviri in itself is like another faction or another facet of the new war. And then you really can't talk about the new war without getting into the prelude to the new war. So in the grand scheme, it's going to end up being, it's going to be a 3-parter.
The arms dealer is named Darvo. He's being held in a prison block on the other side of this factory complex.
Yeah, that's... If you've been following along in the game, I feel like the new war is like, it's a great culmination of everything that you've done, using all the different things that you've used, you know, you've built over time and whatnot. However, just starting up, wow, are there a ton of roadblocks into that particular quest. Oh, you don't see me at all, do you?
Darvo is out for himself, but
Nice,
he is
nice,
sympathetic
nice.
toward
Get
the
that
Tenno.
extra
The Grenier must
affinity.
have found out.
The Ascaris is working, breaking through. I see the shadows.
Quick question, everybody viewing: are the levels cool? Have they like kind of
Don't let war distract you. Focus on the mission.
normalized?
It's our only hope of figuring out this
No
thing.
audio issues, or are there audio issues? No, I do not think Valis is gone. No, not at all. And a lot of my reasoning comes from, for those who've been following the videos here recently, I've been kind of digging a lot into Varuna. But I better get that. That's going to be important for my forma. Varuna's lore has a few pieces in it that, again, if they're true, allude to the fact that I'm not certain that any of the 7, which, you know, again, it's a weird thing. I'm not 100% sure that Valis is a part of it, but he's been mentioned as a part of it, but he's also kind of...
Detection by the warden. It may be easier to get Darvo out.
I don't know. It's a very interesting thing, but if he is, as I kind of assume he is, one of the things it appears he's very good at is manipulation and deceit. And, you know, it says at least that the 7 are undying. And to me, that, you know, kind of says that they're undying, meaning that, you know, whatever happened there at the end of the New War doesn't necessarily mean that he is gone for good. And I think there's even a little... I think you can kind of look at a couple things that happened during that particular quest and say that, yeah, maybe there is some smoke to that fire, or fire to that smoke, the right way, because you don't, even though he looks quite dead, you know, at the end of the quest, his body kind of just disappears. Now, again, it could just be a graphical thing, could be a situation where...
Just must be desperate to send you fetching mighty fools from the corpus.
That's the same movement that the Tenno makes in the Chains of Hera whenever Rel's talking to him.
Shall we see how your shields work?
But yeah, so...
Ascaris is letting Var control your shield. We must figure out how to remove it. Avoid taking damage while I try and block him.
Okay. that's what we need. Mods, mods, mods. Whoops, sorry, Darbo. You're in the way, buddy. Let's get you out of here, pal. Again, do I think Albert Contrati is one? I don't know, but it very much seems as though he could have something. He could have a piece of that. It's tough to say.
I see the operator can enable the mod segment now. Ordis will be delighted to show you how
I can't wait for Warframe 1999, or not Warframe, Whispers in the Walls, because I think he's going to give us enough to kind of get an idea of where things are at, and I do think, just given that it looks like that quest is going to be specifically kind of talking about Entrati, which I would assume then would include more of the Orokin history, if you will, just by default. I can't see how, at least in some ways, those aren't going to be included. Yes, and then there's also the concept of eternalism that basically guarantees that Ballas is alive. So, you know, I think that with his appearance in Duviri, even if it is a manifestation of Kalervo, which I'm still kind of on the fence on that whole thing with Duviri. Duviri is a very odd place, you know, because in one way it's being shown that we,
an excellent find, operator. There are
as the
if my calculations are correct, there are exactly,
you know,
a lot of possibilities.
As the Drifter
Install the mod
were,
before we can continue.
oh wow, I just know endo. We as the Drifter were the creator, and yet at the same time, so many other people have seemed to kind of find their way into Duviri. So it begs to ask the question, like, and again, we can always go back to the eternalism thing, but at the same time, if you just throw eternalism out for right now, I don't know. Duviri is very, very, very strange.
I can't lose you, Tenno. We must restore the ship's foundry immediately.
Yeah, that's like I said. I think Ballas to be one of the executors, and so you know, there's all kinds of little details. There's all kinds of little details in the Zariman too, about kind of, it looks like the people, especially after the event, view him in the same vein that they view Executor Tuval, who, if you're, again, if you've been through it at all, you've listened to some of his recordings, and you know, based upon what we see there. Before I do this, let me just see if I can put on any other mods. Tuval, it doesn't seem he could care less about the Zariman, and in every way, shape, and form, I feel like you could make the argument that in his eyes, the Zariman was always an experiment, nothing more. Hello, how are you? Just want to say thank you again, everybody, to stopping by the stream today. I really do appreciate it. Like I said, helping me get through some of the kinks and whatnot. We'll have a lot better situation moving forward. And one other thing we're going to have to do is... yeah, that's a little better. We don't need all All right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then you know, if you're planning on
Tenno, we may
bonking
have
him
a
over
problem.
the head and
The colony
keeping him
is
in the garage for
unresponsive. Get
the
to
rest
the
of the time.
surface so we can see what's going on.
So my voice is still crackling then. Oh man, I thought we were actually through that. I do apologize, yes, and I will definitely. I'm gonna have to run another couple little tests because it does seem like it might be having to do with the
I was
encoding.
afraid of this. The Grineer are here, and I cannot find any signs of living colonists. You still have a job to do. Find the foundry segment.
You know I'm gonna need that. Oh, you know what else I should probably do too? Just real quick.
This was once a prosperous, independent colony, until the Grineer arrived.
The Queens fear you, but I will show them. Their love will return when I deliver you to them.
See if tuning some things down.
The signal cannot be boosted any further. Hurry, we're on a running out of time.
Who knows? That even could be a situation with the cable for my microphone, if that's the case. Which I can all iron that out here in a little bit. Oh man. That's another thing too, is like I've played through some of these quests so many times now that I can't even remember what my original decisions or what I did and didn't do as far as rescuing people or not. So this will be kind of an interesting thing to go through and actually remember the first decisions that I make. Though I don't think a lot of the decision-making stuff actually shows up for a little while yet. Ooh, yeah. You know, I feel like at this point, as far as Vor is concerned, there isn't a ton verifiable yet. I mean, we can speculate all day on without question. But the fact that he kind of talks about
Good. Your ship is one step closer to completion.
coming into contact with the wall of bone and whatnot, I'm wondering if Vor won't have some kind of appearance in Whispers in the Wall.
Your spine, and I will control this.
Maybe even as a like a more minor aspect of it, kind of like how he appears in Duviri now, you know. I like that theory about the Duviri. I really do, because it definitely encapsulates a lot of the issues that I think come with Duviri and trying to completely and fully understand what's happening. Oh, it's just that. Oh, actually, let's put it this way: if I already have a lore video on Ortis as it is right now, and if in that regard, I feel like I would add Ortis's story with into a Ballast video, something that I don't actually have. Something that's actually I really feel I would like to do, because let's be real, Ballast he's the quintessential enemy in Warframe. Well, I mean, I definitely think that Vor's ability to come back to life is without question something you know, related to the man on the wall, or the void. If in fact you separate the two,
Job well executed.
because I feel like that's definitely one of the more, let's say, debated topics on if the man in the wall is the void or if the man in the wall is just an aspect of the void. So if you buy into the first camp, then
segment is ready for installation, operator.
the man in the wall can legitimately be anywhere where the void has already touched. Maybe not as the driving influence, but as a kind of something in the background, if you will. Exactly. There's just not enough true information to definitively say one way or the other. So you have to speculate at this point. You can't say definitively. Which is one of my favorite things about Warframe's lore.
Has been looted as well. Typical Corpus. Sure, the blueprint is free, but jack up the components.
Well, I appreciate you enjoying the videos, and they're going to keep coming. I do like kind of how I'm incorporating full quests and then adding some stuff to it. That way, if for, you know, it gives a bit of a refresher, a little bit of new information, especially on quests that have been updated and such. But yeah, I feel like Wally is the void too. Okay, and I feel like
Operator, I am sorry.
it's a card that DE can play at literally any time.
You may want to get a new ship Cephalon when you can afford it. That one seems glitched. I've marked your
And if you buy into that,
it's good for resources. If you can start
I think you have to also buy into the concept of two things. One, we're not going to fight the man on the wall, because it's like the man in the wall would be fighting like one of the true Eternals in Marvel, Infinity, or even the man above all, or the one above all. So that's not going to happen. It's going to be more of a, you know, an influence type situation. Now, if you subscribe to the idea that the man in the wall is just a facet of this and that maybe like a rogue aspect, then he can be defeated. But I have to be honest with you. I do think one of the main things that DE kind of played their hand on in the idea that it rests, or that Wally resides as a function of the void, like an actual like a true god of it, is that they call him the Indifference. And the Indifference is heavily steeped in Lovecraftian beings. So if you are going to make that association, in a lot of ways you are saying that he resides as an entity indifferent to either humanity or any other race, because that's essentially what is the horror behind Lovecraftian entities, is that it's not so much that they are ultra powerful and are, you know, these quantum beings in a lot of states, in a lot of situations, but that they just don't care. So if they move funny and wipe out your entire existence, oh well, they just didn't, you know, what do they care? So, like I said, the fact that they use that term indifference, and it's been brought up on more than one occasion with, you know, multiple factions using it too, seems to me at least to say that the man in the wall is like a legitimate function or existence of the void manifested as kind of like a personality.
Legions of robots, mindless automatons, freaking lasers.
Now,
These guys are bad news. But they're
whether
also
or not, you know,
which is why
it
you're here.
assumes the entirety of the void is, you know, another thing that DE can play with. I can just say again, like I said, even though it was the void in its entirety, we exercised a negative aspect of it that's been
Don't get me wrong. I like profits.
created from multiple instances of, let's say, detrimental conceptual embodiment. Oh, ow. Oh, I definitely, I don't think Hunhao's seen the last of his thing yet, by a long shot. Hunhao is definitely going to play a role. Now, will Hunhao be more of an ally this time? That's really tough to say. I mean, after all, whereas he obviously has, you know, his own grudges against the Tenno, you also have to look at it in the fact that, one, the Tenno were the ones that did the job that, you know, that they couldn't do in removing the Orkin. At least as it looks right now. Oh yeah, I forgot about the. I have to go find my my cipher blueprint there underneath, but hold on one second. Let's get over here again. But I think you all kind of understand where I'm going with this, and the fact that
Time for extraction.
whereas we can say things look like they're going to go a particular way, it's really up to DE how they want to. How they're gonna. They're gonna do it in the end, and that's. I really do think if for those who've seen kind of some of my couple of my newer videos where I've shown differences in the quests from, you know, what they were in the beginning or to what they are now, I think that there's a theme that we're seeing kind of play out in real time in what those changes are. And when everything comes to fruition, I think we're going to look back and say, oh, that makes more sense now that,
This part of your
you know,
journey is over,
looking at it this way.
I admire you for your struggle.
Oh yeah,
But
I want to see
now,
Kiddo.
I am part of you.
Lotus, do something. Help the operator.
We Grenier are millions strong, but with a flaw. We are diseased, rotten, sterile. But now we have you.
Operator, do not abandon me again. Build the countermeasure.
40K, that's another one too. I've gotten a lot of requests for Warhammer. And I have to admit, with the new one coming out here
I
shortly,
did this for my love,
another Space
my
Marine,
queen.
we may have to jump into that
You
one
will
as well.
forgive my
Absolutely.
insubordination,
I absolutely
for
think the 7 come back without question.
Our love
I don't
will
think
be reborn
I don't think that
as
they're
we
dead.
feed on
Like
your
I think that they exist
Our
in
children
their own little
flourish
situation now.
without
I could be wrong,
disease. And I will
but we're
die
gonna find out. I really do think we're gonna find out soon.
peace. Father, grandfather, what do you think you're doing?
So You know what's funny is I was thinking about as I was playing, because when I was doing that other character, I did mostly solo quests, because I wanted to be able to also get resources and stuff while I was going without having to hold other people up the whole time. You know, should always be cognizant of your fellow Tenno out there. I think it's a good way to live. So, you know, in those situations, I got through the star chart on no money, Rhino, the Dread Bow, Sun and Moon, and I was able to get all the way up to, I'm at the Era quest right now, is where I stopped. And the only ones that I actually needed other people for was, what's that interception mission in the Void? And yes, I do think we're going to see Tau, without question. That's another thing that's coming along the way.
You managed to disarm Vor's Ascaris. I thought I
Now,
lost you.
I don't think it's going to be fleshed out, obviously, like our star chart is. But yes, Tau is definitely in Warframe's future. I mean, Ballast wanted to get there. Wouldn't even be surprised if when we get to Tau, there is a version of Ballast, or Ballast himself already there waiting for us. Just saying.
Records will be the fastest way to find Vor.
Operator, what are you waiting for? Ordis assumes finding Vor implies violence?
Yeah, let's, again, I really do think the 7... I don't think DE is just going to allow the 7, with, you know, the pomp and circumstance that they have, to just never be existed in the game. I really do think, like, you're going to see something that happens with that at some point. You know, exactly what's going to happen and when, it's tough to say. Well, okay. This is a very good question. Should you start in Duviri? And my answer is unequivocally yes. And here's the reason why. Did I do that? Take nav segment. Yeah, go to it. I think it gives a ton more context in the new war when you finally play it. When we play the new war without Duviri, I can't be the only person to think, like, while, you know, when we got the Drifter and the Lotus, just thinking to myself, did we miss, is there something we missed here? How is this possible? Where did we go? Is this somewhere else? Is this like a different universe? Like,
You have murdered my sons.
but if you play Duviri first, not only does it establish, technically, think about this, it establishes your Tenno in the correct order, meaning that the Drifter, you know, obviously comes before the Tenno. So you're getting that first. Again, there's the sun and moon that makes the star chart extremely, extremely easy, even with a crappy build, like a completely garbage build. So it helps out there. But then when you do get to the part in the new war where the Drifter shows up, for a lot of new players that play Duviri first, it's going to be a big kind of gotcha moment where that's this other part of the quest that they played so far back, so long ago, is going to be like, oh, look, this finally makes, now here's this character, now I see what that's going on. Whereas for us, I don't know, I think it offered way more questions and answers for the vast majority of us. That aspect of it. So. So you're saying sacrifice, then Duviri. I mean, again, I think by doing Duviri first, before New War, it's going to make just a ton more sense overall. When you do that is really up to you. But if you are a new player, you know, who doesn't want to invest a lot of money or even time into figuring out like what's good and what isn't, the fact that they give you this absolutely incredible melee weapon, and you know, melee in Warframe is just extremely overpowered, but they give you this major weapon that just slices through everything. Not only is it strong, but also its moveset is so fast that you can proc slash, you know, the slash procs just come so quick with that thing that anything in the yeah, let's save the colonists.
Saving the colonists could jeopardize this mission.
Oh,
I recommend you
don't
head
worry.
straight to extraction.
Yeah?
The choice is yours.
Well, you are a great person. Yeah, and I mean it does. It again, it's really fourth wallish. But I made mention in one of my other videos that like it's interesting that there are different memories associated with different Tenno. Like if you started like the vast majority of players did it, you know, in the beginning there with Duviri coming in the end, you have a completely different memory of what occurred in the beginning. And I like that. I like that there's like different, you know, ideas of different Tenno, because I feel like it kind of plays in line with the idea that you know, Tenno were woken up at different times as well. But I guess it's really up to you, your own preference. Now, if you want the, you know, it's kind of like the Star Wars thing. If you want the true experience, you have to watch Star Wars A New Hope first, because that's how everybody else saw it, right? And then the prequels come after the fact. But if you're looking for that linear path, so it's like, if you want the true form, the Star Wars original, you go everything up to the New War and then Duviri after the fact. And if you want to play it in what's more of a linear path, if you will, you know, the prequels, then the original three, you know, that's doing the Duviri first. It's probably the best way I can describe it there. Want a little bit more mic on action? I think we can probably go up just a little bit. Hopefully this won't contribute to cracking. Please let me know if we're hearing anything major that just occurred right there from me turning that off. Okay, man on the wall, where I see things headed. Here's my thought process on the man on the wall. I don't think, as much as I want to see the interdimensional battle because I just think it would be so awesome. I don't see that happening. Only because of a lot of things of what I've seen up to the point. I don't think that DE wants to get rid of the man on the wall. Okay? So I think they're going to try to keep him for as long as possible. My personal opinion. Meaning that even if he is a quote-unquote villain, he's going to be one that isn't going to be dealt with. That being said, I think it's interesting that within the tablets that we see in Duviri... Oh, I'm so ready, Lotus.
permanently.
I know, it sucks. More crackling? Okay, okay. Let's try it again here. Yeah, I mean, I definitely think he without question, wants, quote unquote, in. And for those of you that know anything about Destiny lore, he definitely, the Man on the Wall has a kind of a 9 vibe where they're like concepts that want to be real. And it might be one of the reasons that it seems like the Man on the Wall is always siphoning. They're always making allusions to him siphoning memories, utilizing memories, taking memories from people, emotional states, things like that. Like almost like the Man on the Wall is desperate for the human experience. But at the same time, a point that I was going to make earlier, is that the tablets in Duviri seem to imply that the Man on the Wall is, if nothing else, trying to guide the Tenno. Is it guiding them in the correct way? For his own purposes? It's tough to say. But there's a lot of dialogue within those tablets that kind of says it's almost like mentoring, especially in the ways of continuity, void, just general information on things within the void. Is it true information? Tough to say, but there's a lot of data that the Man on the Wall gives, and to me that seems odd for a villain. You know, like at least one that believes himself to be a villain. Maybe in the future here, you know, it'll be more fleshed out as a villain. But yeah, I mean, again, and that could be another thing, that like the Man on the Wall is looking at the Tenno as a successor. I don't know, but there's definitely an aspect of the Man on the Wall that's not hostile, because really, in the grand scheme, what hostile has it ever done to us?
You will join us one way.
Yeah, well, maybe. Yeah, I guess you could possibly look at the Man on the Wall as the darkness too, like wielded in a particular way. But then again, that would also insinuate that something, that the Man on the Wall is something other than the void, and using the void instead of it being an aspect of the void. Almost like calling the Man on the Wall, what would it, again, if you're using the Destiny reference, would be like the witness. And whereas I definitely think that's valid, again, one of the major things that I think kind of potentially takes away from it, unless it's going to be a reveal later, is that they call the Man on the Wall the Indifference, meaning that it really doesn't have what I would call an agenda per se. More so, it's just experiencing things and say, "Oh, this is cool. What? Give me more. What else? What else?" And almost using us as an avatar, like potentially living vicariously through us, even if that makes any sense. But again, I do think the upcoming quest, I'm like super excited about, is going to explain some of that, at least pieces of it, I hope. And who knows, we might even get some little aspects thrown at us during this the new update coming here with Degath, or can't remember exactly how to say it yet. We know 4 people that have that have come out and said that they have seen the man in the wall. But here's the thing, and I made mention of this in my last video. There is this fear amongst the Orokin. Oh, nice. Look at that mastery test, too. Yeah! There's this fear among the Orokin regarding
But your
twins.
work has just begun. The origin system is in chaos.
And
it
given
needs you, Tenno.
the man in the wall and how he
Vor was just
appears,
a part of the Grineer machine. And
it
we
just
have seen
seems
that
a
the
really
Prophets have
odd
begun amassing
coincidence
weapons of their own. It is a
that
dangerous time.
Orders will be
twins would be a problem.
having a bloody path in whatever mission they choose.
We will be at your side. There will be others too. It is time for the Tenno to return. So,
Yeah, I hope that the new
what
story
mission will
or the
you do
new
next?
the thing's actually like a half decent sized quest too. I know it's not going to be new war sized, but you know, just you know, something meaty. Not three
Tenno must be a
quests
master
or
of all
three
their
missions.
weapons.
Not that,
Prove yourself
but
with
something
your
better
primary
than that.
weapon. I believe you can handle more.
Oh, do you?